Once you have written a claim, we want to focus on including a definition in your constructed response. The goal of this video is to help you do that by including a definition of a literary element. Remember, our definitions are defining any keywords from the prompt, from the question that we give you. And you want to make sure you're using your own definition and words, not from a dictionary or not from a Google search. All of this will help you keep your focus so you're actually answering the question instead of doing a whole bunch of writing and then realizing that you didn't do the work that was assigned to you. So the words that we're defining are literary terms. These are anything we study in literature or in English class. For example, from fiction, we are studying characters, setting, mood, symbol, theme. If you see those are words you are underlining or highlighting in your from the prompt. And they're also the words then that we're going to define in this next step. If we're looking at nonfiction, we're looking at things like facts, opinions, cause effect, headings, graphs, any of those words that we use when talking about nonfiction. We want to make sure you're using your own words. So once you've identified those words from the prompt, we're defining them in the sentence after the claim. Remember, we don't want you to use a dictionary, and it should sound like you because you are the one writing this. So here's some examples. If I have to define setting, I might say setting is the place, physical, time, temporal, and society, milieu of a story. Maybe we want to talk about characterization. I say there are both indirect and direct ways readers can draw conclusions about characters and stories. Notice here I wasn't very specific. In the setting example, I mentioned 3 different types of setting: physical, temporal, social. For the characterization one, I did not say it is what characters say, what characters do, what characters look like, I didn't list all the options. If I was writing about only certain types of characterization, maybe my definition would include that. So my definition might change a bit to focus on whatever I need to focus on based on the prompt. And for point of view, maybe I can define that as third person omniscient point of view allows the author to get into any character's thoughts. This is helpful so long as I'm writing about omniscient point of view, but maybe I want just a broad definition of point of view, just like I have a broad definition of characterization or even setting. So we can focus this differently depending what our writing needs. So now we'd like for you to try to write a definition of whatever literary term or terms is mentioned in the prompt that you are responding to. Give it a try and then unpause once you define that. Now that we have a definition written, this will help us maintain focus. Whatever words or phrases you define here should also appear in your claim. So if your claim mentions how the type of setting impacts a characterization, we should be defining setting and character in our definition portion of our paragraph. And that way, when we start cementing everything together, we're going to cement it by referring back to those literary terms that we've already defined. It should be very clear focus throughout. Now that you've watched this video, you should be able to write and include a definition of a literary element in your own constructed response.